Hi, and welcome to A Viewer Solves Sudoku Without Simon. This Sudoku was featured in the Cracking the Cryptic video, A Viewer Solves Sudoku with Simon, episode 11. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know the format that was done in, but I'm assuming the two of them solved Sudoku puzzles together in some way. Well, today we're going to solve this by ourselves. So, and maybe if I haven't seen the video, it's more like a non-viewer solves Sudoku without Simon. Regardless, it is a Sudoku, and we are going to solve it. So, a few more rules than usual. I tend to prefer the ones that have fewer rules, but this one isn't too complicated. We do have arrow Sudoku, digits and circles sum to the values, digits attached to arrow. And we have some cave rules. So shade some cells in the grid to make an orthogonally connected component. The unshaded cells are form chunks, and each chunk has, is it one chunk or multiple chunks? An orthogonally connected group that contains all the digits 1 through n, where n is the size of that group. Okay. So the unshaded cells are going to contain chunks of size n that contain the digits 1 through n that connect to the outside of the grid, and all circles are unshaded. Okay, and I see some circles in the middle of the grid, which is going to be a good place to start. I'm going to use cyan for unshaded and green for shaded. This is probably not going to be unshaded because it has to be equal to this, meaning it has to be in a different chunk than it is in. I also see some of these digits has to be quite high, right? And when I have some shaded cells, I will label them in green, but for now we do not. So this one has to be at least 7, and this one at least 6, because you have 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So every single chunk or group has a 1 in it. And so there can be at most 9 such chunks, and that's why I think this is significant, is that this is going to be a chunk that is probably not shared with any of these other circles. And we see that some of these chunks have to be quite large to contain high digits. Yeah, but these could be just 2. This has to be at least 3, at least. This has to be at least 4. 1, 2, 1. Well, we're out quickly of easy deductions. It does seem like the upper right is where all the constraints are happening. Like, I think if you consider these cells, they collectively have to add up to quite a lot. So we have 15 plus 10. So these three add up to at least 25, which I think could be 799. So these are all at least 7. And that's only if these are 1 through 5 and 1 through 4. So 5 would be in this row. I think that works. And then whichever one of these a 5 is on has to lead to a 9. There's no way to entangle this with that lot. Since all these are at least 7, 2 of them must be equal and therefore part of different chunks. These are not going to all be unshaded because they contain a repeated digit amongst them. Assuming they're all 1 through 5, right? You could have a 6. You could have a 6, 1, 2, and that makes a 9, and then, no. 3, 4, 5, making it 12. And then what is this? 1, 2, 3 making a 6? I think this is nonsense. Yeah, maybe I should just focus on this. So this is at least 1 through 5 and 1, making 16. So these two digits add up to 16 at minimum, which could be 7, 9. Can they be 7, 9? 1 through 5. Let's call this 1, 3, 5 for 9. 1, 2, 4 for 7. Could happen. They could also both be 8, but 7 can't be ruled out. Can this digit be higher than 1? Because if this is 1, that is quite informative. And it even starts restricting this pretty soon. If this is higher than 1 through 5 and 2, 17, that makes this exactly 8, 9, or 9, 9. Certainly, there is a repeated digit here somewhere. Because if this is 1 through 6, which is the smallest thing can be if there's no repeated digit, adds up to 21. And you do not get two digits to add up to 21. So this digit must be one of these. If it is a 2, I said 8, 9 is the minimum this can be. So let's call that 3, 4, and this 5, 1. And this, in fact, is 8, 9. Can this be 3? I mean, right, yes, it can. Let's put a 1 here, 2, 4 here, 1, 5, and then it's 2 9s. Yeah, okay. I mean, regardless, this is definitely 1 through 3. For this to be 7, it is a 3. And this is 1, 2, 4. That's feeling improbable. Let's suppose this is a 7. So this is 1, 2, 4. We know both of these are 9. This can't be 1, 2, 4. So it has a 5. 5. Let's say the 5 is here. Yeah, it all works. This is a minimum of a 5. This is a maximum of a 4. Nine. And I'd even still compatible with this being a 7. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's not really pressuring these arrows very much. Maybe another question to ask is, how do these cyan chunks get to the edge? But it doesn't feel hard to do. Or like that. These are already, most of these are connected to the edge already. I'm missing something. Digits in a circle, yes. No, I'm not missing a rule. It does feel like, you know, you could have one nice big chunk here. That's 8 digits, so you can have pretty high digits, and then you have another chunk here or something. That's 2 chunks that takes care of most of your signed digits. And then down here, what's your constraint? Nothing? It does feel like box 2 has to have everything. Maybe I should ask, where is this? Oh. Oh, this digit probably equals this digit. Is there any way this digit could be on this arrow? No, because the arrows can have at most a 6 on them, and this is at least a 7. Okay, so I've learned something that these 2 digits are equal to each other. And so not in the same chunk, but I wasn't expecting that anyhow. Suppose there are 7. This is 1, 2, 3, 1. And this is a 1. And then this has a 1. This is a 2, 4. This is 1, 3, 5. It all works. It all works. 1. This is 2, 3, 4. This is 9. 5 or higher. This digit has to be somewhat low because it lies on this arrow. 6 or less. Not especially low. This digit is not any of these. So it could be peach. If this digit is peach, I'd finally have something to work with, because that would tell me both of these are shaded, which is impossible, right? If both of these are shaded, they are orthogonally connected in some way, and whatever way you orthogonally connect them, you have to isolate either this digit or this digit. So this digit is not peach. Specifically, okay. If 2 cyan cells are diagonally connected to each other, they must be part of the same chunk. So these are all one chunk. If this were unshaded, it'd be part of the same chunk as this, which is impossible. So we have our first guaranteed unshaded cell. These 3 are all part of the same chunk, which tells me that these are unequal to each other, so they're certainly not 8, 8. What did we say the minimum was? 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 or higher. They're not 8, 8. They could be 7, 9 or 8, 9. Certainly they have a 9 between them. If there's 7, 9, if this is 1 and 1 through 5, or it's 8, 9 if this is 2 and 1 through 5, or if this is 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. This cannot equal either of these. So this cannot equal 9 because one of these is 9. So this is less than 9. If this is 5, this has to be 3 or less. If this is... yeah, I think that causes problems if this is 7. Suppose this is 7. Then we have a 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. This is 2, 3, 4. This has to be at least a 5. This is 2, 3. This is 4. This is 9. This is 9. And we have 2 9s in the same chunk, so that's impossible. So it makes this not 7. Makes it 8 or higher. That was a bit convoluted. So this is 8 or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. One of them is a 9. We know, of course, this is 1, 2, or 3, and it has a duplicate. These two must be the same as each other. I'm not going to indicate that in color. If this is 3 or less, so if this is a 5, this has to be 3 or less. Which means one of these is 4 or higher. So it could be 1, 2, 4, 1, making 8. Do I know this has to be at least 5? Maybe I should just take all the digits and add them all up. This, 1 through 5. This, 1 through 5. This, 1 through 4. So the highlighted digits add up to, at minimum, 15 plus 15 plus 10 to make 41. And then the corresponding blue cells are these. So these cells add up to at least 41. There are 5 of them. So their average is higher than 8. Okay. Also, these 3 have to be different. So these 3 add up to at most 24. So these 5 cells are at least 41. These 3 cells are at most 24. The difference between 41 and 24 is 17. So these 2 cells add up to at least 17. And if this is higher than 1, they add up to more than that. So if this is a 1, if this is a 2, these have to all be 9s. If it's a 1, this could be an 8-9 pair. But if this is a 2, if this is a 2, we have 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, yeah, just random 9s places. If this is a 2, 2, 9, let's see, 4 into 9, this has to be 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 4, yes, 2, 2, 1, 4, 3, 9, 9, 7, I'm not sure. Regardless, all of these can be at most 1 away from minimums. I think we said before this could be at most 3. I don't love it. This, how big can this be? This could just be 2? I mean, it seems unlikely. Okay, well, if this is 2, these are 1s. That's a bit of a mess. If either of these digits, okay, so this digit equals this digit, which equals one of these. If it is green, or if it's this cell, could be this cell, yes. This could be very small, because it's 6 or less. If this digit is here, that seems unlikely. No? Okay. I lost track of where I was saying. I wanted this digit to be high. These two digits cannot be here nor here. So if this is a 1, if either of those is a 1, that constrains quite a deal. Great deal. If none of these are 1, they're at least 2, 2, 4. Well, also we know among these 4 digits, there are certainly 1, 2, 3. So that makes this 4 or higher already, even without asking if either of these can be 1. What does it matter that this is 4 or higher? I was asking where in this box this digit is. I want this to be peach. That would constrain things. Because I know this is unequal to that. So if this is peach, then peach and this are an 8, 9 pair. That makes this 17. That makes these 1s. And that makes this 7, 8, 9. Right now I only know this is 6 or higher. This can't be peach because if it is, oh, it could be shaded. That's very possible. If this is 9, we're gonna have a hard time fitting shaded cells, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And you can get rid of these and make these if you want more flexibility. Actually, that doesn't work. Once you do this, you are connecting these. Okay, so we have 9 here. To make this 9, I can't touch most of those cells. But I could do that. And I could do that. And that allows me to have 9s everywhere. If this is a 9, it must be this full shape, or it connects, which would make this an 8, which would make these 1s. What's the other shape? Maybe it is informative. If these are both 9s, then this can't touch these. Dun 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 dun. Can't touch these. Maybe that's why this is cyan, is to disallow this chunk from going down here without merging with these. This shape feels perfectly plausible, is the trouble. I also can't disprove shapes like this, which goes up into these digits. I took a few too many. 5. Yeah. Oh no, that's correct. That's 9 digits. Caves can hide secrets. I'm going to assume that the title secret, that the word secret in the title here is referring to adding up the digits 1 through 9 to make 45. Which suggests caves can hide secrets implies that identifying the digits 1 through 5, so these unshaded chunks would be caves, I guess, and therefore the chunks of size 9 can the digits 1 through 9 add up to 45. So that would have to be significant in some way. Okay, if these are part of the same group, then they must connect on the outside. Otherwise you split up the shaded cells into two orthogonal groups. This digit, therefore, has to be equal to one of these two. It has to be equal to this one, which implies this is shaded. This digit would have to be one of these two. Do some, I guess it'd be like this. Or maybe this, or a few variants thereof. Maybe this. I don't see what to do with these two digits being equal. This is a 4, 2, 2, 1. Okay, if this is a 4, this is 1, 2, 3, 5. The presence of a 5 forces everything else downwards. 1, 1, 9, 9, 7, 8, 1 through 5, 1 through 5. Because these are 1s, this has to be 2, 2. Which means one of these is 2. Because both of these are 9, this is 9. 9, 1, 1. So these add up to 7. These have to be 2, 5. 1, 2, 5, 3. This is 7 or 8. 3, making this 4 or 5. This is 9. 9. This is 4 or 5. This is not 2. Not feeling useful. Okay. These have to be here. I feel like I was on the right idea when I built this large constraint in the upper part, but I missed my constraint by 1 or something. Like I could have done 1 better than I actually did. Somehow. It's all in this digit. I added 1 instead of 2 or something. Can I get a contradiction by assuming these are both 1? Can I get a contradiction? Can these be 1? What happens if these are 1? 1 up there. Seems fine. 1 down here. If these are 1s. These both being 9s give a contradiction. That puts a 9 here. 9. 9. Do any of these being unshaded cause problems? If this is unshaded, then certainly all of these are a group. I do think that quickly becomes unwieldy. 1, 5. Yeah, I think you can't connect at all. This is the most efficient possible connection. That's 10 digits. So that's unshaded. Great. If this is, or that's shaded. So if this is unshaded, that's 8 digits. But it does make this distinct from these. So it's 7 or less. That's not hard to do. Maybe I should ask, where is Peach in this box? If Peach is here, then it's 8, 1, 9. 1 makes that a 2, which makes that a 9. So 2 9s, that's impossible. So Peach is not here. If Peach is... So Peach is one of those 3 digits. Which means that if it's here, then these have to be shaded. If it's here or here, then the other one is shaded. Or if it's here or here, then the Peach cell is shaded. It's not useful. But yes, one of these 3 digits is Peach. One of these 5 digits is Peach. Or 6, I guess. Yeah. Let's revisit my technique of adding all the arrows up. Let's see if we can tighten that a little bit. 1 through 5, 1 through 5, that's 30. 30 up here for 3 digits, 3 blue cells, and a part of another. (17 plus 9) would make 26. These digits add up to, at most, 26, because they can't all be 9s, because these 2 are unequal. These digits add up to, at most, 26. These digits add up to at least 30. Means this is 4 or higher. Six is unlikely. 6 would force 9, 9, 1, 1, a whole lot. these digits add up to at least 30. 31. Sure, but these digits add up to at least 30, 40, and then 41. This is 24. That makes this 17 at least. I really need it to be 18. I need something to give. This being a 4 would solve so much. There's just no reason for it to be a 4. 4, 2, 2. 4, 2, 2. Why can I prove it to be 4? Why can't it be higher than 4? If these are part of the same, and these are 1, everything is minimum all the way around. These are connected. This digit is here. This digit is 4, 5, or 6. It must be this one. These are 1s. This is 8, 9. 8, 9. 4, 5, or 6. These are 1s. Can I use the fact these are the same digit? They can't both be unshaded. If this is unshaded, then one of these is shaded. 9, 9, 9. No, sorry, 9, 8. 9, 7, 8. 1, 1. 2, 5, or 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, adding into 7, 8. It's at least 2. We know this is the most 4. Okay, hang on. 9, 1, 1. These add up to 7. They must be 3, 4. This is 3, 4. 1. This is 2. This is 5 or 6. This is 5 or 6. 2 with 5 or 6 adds up to 7 or 8. It all adds up, which is to be expected because that's how I got these deductions. 7 or 8, 2, 5 or 6, 7 or 8. One of these is 1. Once again, this is a 9. This is a 5 or 6. This is a 5 or 6. This is a 5 or 6. It has no 1s on it. If this is a 5, it's a 2, 3. 1, 2. 5 or 6. It has to have a 2 on it. So this would be a 2. This would be 3 or 4. One, 2, 5 or 6, 5 or 6, 2, 3 or 4, 7 or 8, 1. So one of these is a 1. Probably this is a 1. One of these 4 is a 1. Oh wait, we established this can't be, there can't be a 6 here if these are 17s. This is 5. 5, okay. Let's write this all out and see if we get a contradiction. So I'm assuming this cell is connected to this cell. That's where we're starting. That means they can't both be 9s, they can be 8 and 9. That makes this 1, 1. I have so many more deductions that I've forgotten. Why did I say this has to be 9? Why can't these both be 8? If this is 8, this is 2, 4. This is 9, this is 3, 4. Either way, there's a 4 and there's no 9. There's no 6 here, nor here, nor 5 in this, nor 5 in this row. There's definitely a 4. So this is 5 or higher, and it's equal to that. So they're 5. There's no 1 on this. Five plus 2 or 3 is indeed 7 or 8. Just for emphasis, we'll put that in there so we can see. Feel like you might as well include that sum, since you already know it's different from the others. This is a 7, 8, 9 triple. If this is an 8, this could be 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. Eight, 8, 7, 2, 3, 2. 9, 5, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4. Many, many valid ways. Many, many valid ways. Where's the contradiction hiding? This cell has to be 1 through 4. It sees 2 digits that add up to 2, 3. It is a 1 or a 4. These lower arrows really yield nothing at all. I don't see any hope for a contradiction down this line of reasoning. Maybe this is the correct way this puzzle goes. Really? Okay. Let's go back to when we filled in the 1s at left. And find a new contradiction. Maybe by assuming that they are not connected. Let's suppose these are both 9s. Then they are not connected to each other. So we have a nice big chunk here. Now where is the contradiction? Maybe we can suppose these are 2s? Where is this digit? Could be anywhere. Why am I using yellow when I have cyan already? So that would make all of these shaded. Should make these unshaded. That is 7 cells. That is too many to accommodate more. Now what? Can I use the fact that these 9 digits are all distinct? So these 3 digits must equal these 3 digits. Okay, that is useless. Shaded necessarily. Shaded. Where is the contradiction? I can even suppose these are both 2 or something. These are both 2. This is still 1, 3, 4. This is 5 or higher. This could just be peach. Oh no, I'm assuming these are both 9s. Assuming these are both 9s, this is still maxing out at 6. I mean, that is giving us, it seems in most of these lines of reasoning, I'm getting low digits in these 2 cells. Which we can be fairly sure are not neither of them 1. But not completely sure. If both of these are 9, then this certainly is 7, 8, 9. So this is 6 or less. There is a 1 here. So this is no 1. Is there a 2 here? Could this be 1, 1, 3, 4? Let's suppose these are both 2s. So then we have 9, 9, 9. We have all the other deductions we're showing right now. These are both 2s, add up to 4. This is a 9. So these add up to 5. So there must be 1, 4. So we have 214. Yes, that makes sense. So this is at least a 3. These are at least 1, 2. That makes this at least a 6. And then given that these are 7, 8, 9, that makes this exactly a 6. Assuming these are both 2s. So this a 3, this a 1, 2. Presumably this would be a 3. So 3. Seven or 8 again. Is that the situation we're looking at? Assuming both of these are 2s. This is 5 or higher. It's either 4, 5 or it's... I think that makes this exactly 5, yes? Because this is 6, 7, 8. Exactly 5. 1, 4, 1, 4. This has to be 1, 3, 4, 5. So these 3 digits are the ones at bottom in some order. Is there some difficulty getting to 9 digits? Here's 9. It's a little bit of work. That'd make this a 1 or 4, but that's fine. The rest checks out. Alternatively, this one works. Those are the 2 ways I see to do it. Let's do something like this. That's too many digits. What about this plus 1 more? That is possible. Okay, so there's a few ways to get 9 digits on the right. So it feels very constrained, but I still haven't hit a contradiction. Must be a simple one somewhere. One of these is a 6. It's a pretty desperate deduction to be making in this hypothetical situation. I don't know. Where is the contradiction? Where? Down here somewhere? These two digits add up to 6, right? So that's not a 3. This could be 143. No. 153. Or 234. It definitely has a 3. This is 1 5 or 2 4. This is 1 2 4 or 1 2 5. So it definitely has a 2. And a 1. This digit is probably equal to this digit. That could be this one. This can't be a 3 because then it'd be up here. These two add up to 6. Could be 5 1 in either order. Oops. Or 4 2. See, now I'm thinking this is the correct route. There's a 1, a 4, or a 5, and a 7 or an 8. This has to be 1 through 5. This cannot be 1, 4, or 5. This cannot be 1, 3, 4, or 5. So it is 2. 1, 5, 5, 7, 8, 7. This is not looking like a fail route. Oh. 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 This 4 cannot be here. Because it's here. Okay. Okay. Finally, an hour in, we may have our first digit. Let us go back and see if we can make that contradiction stick. Right. More. Right. And then I think I just said that this one can't be a 3. Okay. Let us suppose, I'm going to use yellow just to make it clear. Let's suppose this is a group. Specifically, let's suppose both of these are 9. Then this has to be a group. Then this has to be one of these 3 cells. Specifically, these 3 cells have to be the same as these 3. So this has to be one of these 3. This has to be one of these 3. These 2 cells one of them must be absent from here. Actually, let's suppose specifically that these are both 2's. Okay, one of these 2 cells must be absent from here because it's up here. But that's not possible because these are 1 through 5 and these are 1 through 5. So these are 6 and up. And these are 5 and less. Okay, so these cannot be 2's. We now know for sure that they are 1's. Can I do a little better? Okay, so if these are both 9's, then one of these 2 is up here, so one of them must be a 6 or a 5. If it's a 6, and then one of these is a 6 or a 5, that makes this 1 through 4. This is 5 or higher. This has to be one of these because it's not 9. So this is 5 or 6. Neither of these is 1. So they are one of these is 2. Okay. We're still assuming these are 9's. One of these is a 5 or 6. One of these is a 5 or 6. So this must be 7, 8, or 9. Can't be part of that group. Well, I mean, okay, we know all this is unshaded. Back to the same old shading gig. We're assuming 9, 9, 9. And then these have to be... That could be 6, 8, 9. No, it can't be 6, 8, 9 because we're supposing a 6 up here. Right. This is one of these. Nine, these have to add up to 7. Six or less. Can't be 1, 2, 3, or 5. Can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Therefore, it's a 5. 2. This is 2. These are 1, 2. Actually, can I make that deduction normally? No, it's conditioned on this mess. Let's see, I have 7 digits here, so once again I can block those out. Yes, that's all deducible. 9 cannot fit here without connecting below. So we connect. One of these is a 5 or a 6 and goes one of these places. This is 6 or less. It cannot be 2. One, 2 pair up here. That's a 2, 1. Means that is not shaded. Or that means it is shaded. And we have 7 digits. We need 2 more to get to the edge. So we can't waste any time there. The 2 digits left are the other of the 3, 4 pair and a 6. So probably like this, 3, 4, and 6. One of these is a 2. It's not a 2. Could be, so these add up to 7. No 5. If they're 3, 4, this is 1. If they're 1, 6, they can't be 1, 6. This equals that. 5, 6, and 3, 4, they go here. And 3, 4 does not go up here. Right, because 3, 4 must be down here. Therefore 3, 4 is here. So one of these is 5 or 6, the other is 7 or 8. One of these is 5 or a 6. We also have a 1. We have a 2. We have a 3, 4, and we have another 3, 4. Okay, these add up to 8. Yeah? So this is to be 3, 5. I mean, I'm making a lot of deductions based on this assumption I've made that both of these are 9. But I'd be a lot happier if I didn't have an assumption. I want either a contradiction or a logical reason for this assumption. 8, 5 pair. 6, 9 pair. 6, 9, yeah, okay. And 3, 4. Now I need 2 more digits. They have to have the other 3, 4. And they have to have a 6. So it could be this. Or it could be this. Oh no, it can't be this. Because this, okay, where does the 6 come from the blue? It must come from here. Yeah, this is looking increasingly like this is just going to be the solution. Except that is a problem. That is a contradiction. But that is a very deep contradiction to find. Is there another contradiction somewhere that's easier? The contradiction here, to be clear, is that these two digits must be different from each other, but they both see this digit. Now it could be that I am doing the correct thing and I just made an error. Given the number of deductions involved, it's hard to eliminate that possibility. It seems I had to solve half the Sudoku to hit a contradiction from this assumption that both of these are 9s. See, I see a 1, 2 here, a 4 here, 9 here, 6 here, 5 also. 2. This is a 2-9 pair. What is this? It is not 1, 2. It's a 3. This has to be a 3. Right, this has to be 2, 4, or 3, and it's not 2 or 4, therefore it's a 3. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to see the earliest I can see this contradiction in my deductions. If I need this to be a 6 to get the contradiction, still see this. Oh. Yeah. I mean, a contradiction is a contradiction. We can just hope we made no logic errors. Who would do something as silly as that? And then that's no 3. Okay. So I said these are 1s. I said this is an 8-9 pair. They're unequal to each other. That makes everything here minimums. This is 5 or higher. In fact, it must be exactly 5. Now this cannot be a 1-4 pair, so it's a 2-3 pair. Minimums. This must be 7, 8, 9 triple. This is no 1, nor here. Whew. This cannot be the intended approach. If this is 4, this could be 4, 8, it could be 4, 5. This could be 9. It seems unlikely. It seems unlikely because this sees both of these, and these are unequal, therefore this is 7. 4, 3, 5, 2, this can't be a 4 to be sure. I think we already knew this is a 4 because I have to have 1, 1, 4, 6, and then either add a 2 or 3 to make a 9. Yeah, we had that one already. This 5 is up here somewhere. What is this? This can be neither 2, nor 3, nor 5. And it is one of these. Therefore it's a 1 or a 4. is neither 2 nor 3. Do I return again to this digit? But that's only useful if I know it can't be 7, 8, or 9. Right? Which is contingent on this being unshaded. Okay, let's suppose this is unshaded and then ask what this digit could be. Cannot be 1, nor 4, nor 7, 8, or 9. Well, we know, okay, off the bat it has to be a minimum of 2 plus 1 plus 2, a minimum of 5, a maximum of 6, contingent on this being unshaded, 5 or 6. Making this a 2 or a 3, and this a 1 and 2 or 3. This is a 5, this is a 2, this is 3, 4, 9, 8, 9, 8, 1, 2 or 5 or 3 or 4, 2 or 3. What went wrong when I assumed this was a group? Can I rewind 45 minutes in my head? Did I find a contradiction at all, or did I just give up on that line? I think I just gave up on the line. I didn't find a contradiction. This is a group, that's a 5, that's a 2, this is a 3, 4, this is 9, 9, 8, 8. This is 8, these add up to 7, so that makes that a 2. If this equals this, if this is a 5, if this is a 2, this is a 3, 4, this is a 9, this is a 9, this is an 8, this is an 8. These add up to 8. These add up to 7. This is a 2. This is a 2. There's no 2 here. Okay. Bit by bit, we make the most painful deductions. Since this has a 5, and it's not 1, 2, 5, this must be 9. This is 2. An easier way to say that is that these add up to 15 minus this. This is most 9, therefore this is at least 6. This is 4, therefore this is 2. That is the easier way to see that. One of these has to be 1. This has no 3. Okay, now where are we? 9, 5. Did I make an error? sure it looks like a contradiction. This is a 2. Am I secure in no digit at all? Let's go back just a bit to where I said this has to be a 5. So to get to this point, I have declared that these are 8, 9, and these are 1s, which implies these are 1s. And I got that because I got a contradiction when I assumed that they were both 9s. And I don't like that contradiction, but I did get a contradiction. Right. Now, how did I know this is a 7? I know this is a 7 because it sees this digit, and I said that this is an 8-9 pair. That implies this is a 7. Right. Right. I have 2, 3 from this, which implies 4, 5. Okay. If this is a 5, I get a 2, 7, 9, 8, 9, 8. These add up to 7. This is a 2, 3, 3. Yes. Okay. That is a contradiction. So therefore this is a 4. This is 1, 2, 4, 1, making that an 8. These add up to 6. Two. Oops. Right, and I find myself wanting to make this a 1-5 pair, which doesn't work very well. If this is not a 1-5 pair, it must be a 3. No, it has to add up to 6. This is just broken. It's we get a contradiction again. Because this could be 2, 1, 6. That's infeasible, so therefore it's yeah, 5 also infeasible. So maybe I didn't get a contradiction earlier when I assume those are both 9. Let's put those back just in case that was an error. Yeah, I'll put that. Yeah, okay. Pencil mark that. Okay. We are ages back, 80 minutes into the video, and no secure digit. When I assumed that this is an 8-9 pair, I got a contradiction. So I deduce logically that they must be 9s. They could be 9s and this a 6. Right, right. That was one of the possibilities I considered. I'm displeased. I should have solved the puzzle by now. not groping about desperately for my first digits. I don't know, that's just silly. Let's not even bother. I did find that these are ones without much effort to hit a contradiction. But I don't feel secure in anything. If these are 2s, these add up to 5. So they're 1, 4. I have 1, 2, 4, 3, 4 or 5, 4 or 5, well, okay. It has to be this, right? Cannot go out further here, 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 or here. Now these must connect. If this doesn't work at all. Okay. Now I have 5, 6 in this cluster. I have 3 more in the same cluster. It can't be here and a connector. I mean, here and 2 connectors, because then it doesn't reach the edge. Okay. Okay. I need these 2 to be up here. That implies we have a 6 somewhere on an arrow up here. That implies everything else has to be at minimums. 1, 1 that add up to 7. And then that leaves this to be 5 or 6. Okay, now this digit certainly can't be a 2. Can't be 1, 3, or 4. It can't be 7, 8, or 9. So it's 5 or 6. This is less than that, and significantly so. 2, 6. This adds up to at most 4. So it certainly has a 1. Makes this a 1. There's 7 unshaded cells in this group. We have 2 more to reach the edge. And they are either 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 and whatever, and a 2, which maybe this is the error. This is 6, this is 1, 3, this is 5. Supposedly, everything I have done to get to this point is perfectly logical. It's very meandering, but assuming I haven't made another error, the puzzle must look like this. Supposedly. Here's a 5, 6. There's no 1 on this arrow. If there were no... So it could be 3, 3. Or it could be 2, 3, or it could be 2, 4. Previously, I found this to be a 6. 6, 2, 4, I think is what I found. This digit is on this arrow, so it is 6 or less. There's no 2. But beyond that, I can't say. The 7, 8, there must be a 1 on this arrow. One of these digits is up here, or one of these digits is up here specifically, and one of them is here. If this, is it this digit that must be up here, right? These two digits, I can't have a 5 here and a 5 here, or a 6. These two digits are unequal. There's either a 5 here, or a 6 here, and a 6 here, or vice versa. If this were a 5, 6, this were a 5, 6. And this would be no 5, 6, and it'd be up here. So it'd be a 1 through 4, which are all would be here. Yeah, okay, so clearly that can't be. And then this must equal this. 5, 6. Okay, there are not two 5, 6s in the box. That much is clear. There's certainly a 1 through 4 on the arrows in both cases. This 5, 6 is up here. That accounts for all the digits 1 through 6, making this a 7, 8. This must be 7 or 8 to be the other 7 or 8 that's up here. And since we have a 7, 8 pair up here, this cannot be 7 or 8. And it's not 1 through 4. So it's 5 or 6. This is 7 or 8. Not that this really helps. Really, we should be focusing on these arrows and resolving them completely. There can certainly never be a 6 on an arrow adding up to 8 or less of length 3 of distinct digits. Could be 5, 5, 2, 1. Making this a 3, 4 pair. Making this a 2. No, wait, okay, this has to be 2, 3, 4. Yes, yes. 1. There's 1 down here, but we knew that already. 1. These add up to 8. Well, it's not 4. So it's 3, 5. So we have 1, 2, 4. Adding up to 7. How did I know there can't be a 6 in here? I got this. Let's just double check that before we make another. Okay, I know this is 3, 4 because it can't be 2 from this. It can't be 1 because of this. It can't be 5 or 6 because this is equal to one of these, and it's not the 5 or 6. Okay, so this is 3 or 4. Can't be a 4 because then we have 4, 4, 1s. Therefore it's 3. Therefore it's 5. No, 3. Yes, 3. 2, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yes. Okay. Now it's all coming together. 6, 7, 8. 3, 4. And now I think this is a 6 because why? Because so I know this is on the arrow on the upper right, and it's not a 2, therefore it's 3, 4. I think that's why I think it's a 6. 6. This could be 3, 3, making this 4, 3, or it could be 2, 4, making this 3, 3. Either is acceptable. Two, 4, 2, 4. This is 6, 9, as we had previously. This is 2, 3, 4, including a 3. This is 2 or 4, along with 8 and 5. This cannot be 8, because it's in the same chunk as an 8. Now, where do I find 6? Could be I find 6 here, or I find 6 here. If I find 6 here, I have to connect up here, which we saw before was a contradiction. So I'm thinking this is going to be the 6. Alternatively, this could be a 2. That could also solve the contradiction we had last time. I feel like I'm going to have to review the video from before and see where my error came from. Well, that's not a 2 at least. Or maybe I'm once again making an error down this line of reasoning, and this being 8-9 pair was the correct reasoning. Either way, I feel like I'm doing a lot of guess and check. I think again it is time to ask where this 9 size chunk goes, and it can't escape joining that one. Uh, 5 and 7 are left. Yeah, okay. I'm missing 2 digits. It's not these 2. It's not these 2. Right, because that includes an 8. It could be these 2. If this were 5, 3, 4, 6, 2. Two, 1, 4. If these are unshaded, that is a 5. That is a 6. This is a 1, 3. This is a 3. This is a 4, 3. 7. Okay, we have a digit here. We should work with the digits we have. This is looking suspiciously like what I had last time, but last time maybe I had no reason to believe this was a 5, and that was just the error that led to my contradiction. This digit is equal to this digit. Therefore, this is not unshaded. Or at least it's not part of this chunk. which makes it unshaded. So it can't be this, can't be this, can't be this, must be this. And then there's no 1 up here, so they're all. Okay, this is 5, no 5, 2, 2. Six, 1, 3, 4, 3. And then we have 7, 8, 9. And then what is in the corner but a 2? A little weird. I guess that will show up at the end. Is that really? Did I? Hang on. Did I do that right? 7, 8, 9 was left over. 8 had to go there. Yeah, that looks right. Six, 7, 8 still ambiguous. 3, 4. Okay. 1, 4, 5, 8. So 3, 4, 5, 8. 9 and 2. I did say I had a 9-2 pair. Well, this is certainly not the. Okay, that's making things interesting. Making things interesting. 1, 6, 7. Can't be a 6. It's the same chunk. Now these two chunks don't connect. If this were a 5 or 8, that would block off this whole chunk, which works fine. This can't be an 8 or a 5. This column has 1 through 5 already, so I'm missing 6 and up. Doesn't feel the most useful, but okay. So 8, 3, 5. So this is 4, 5, or 7. That's not 5. Not 7. At this point, I'm mostly just doing standard Sudoku rules and haven't really touched the special rules in a while. This column, a little worried I made a mistake there. after having made several. But we carry on. Yeah, I didn't need any special rules for the bottom part at all. Just the arrows. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that was a bit of a marathon. Let's see if we can get the coloring correct. This 2 must connect to a 1. It has these two possibilities. Could be that the entire bottom row is just a cave. Well, that fails pretty quickly. Okay, now the 9 certainly has to escape. I think if this is a 9, yeah, that's a contradiction. It is feeling likely that these will connect. And then that this is a group. If this doesn't connect, then this goes through the 9. And then it runs into 4 or 6, both impossible, thus forcing to the right. So regardless, it definitely connects. And we certainly need the 1, and we need the 3. We can't have the 6. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. This must reach the 1. And it has no 4, so we stop there. Okay. Don't know what to think. I really want to see this with fresh eyes. Maybe I should just watch the video and see how it looks. Yeah, probably a better puzzle if you don't make the errors I made, but such as it is.